And now, ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be entertained. New York City!
He says tonight you're going to witness greatness. I wonder what they think now.
Because, man, he's already fought on the biggest stages. I mean, that's why he's the king. That's why he's here, and that's why we're still...
Undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, presentando a Saúl Canelo Alvarez. Once again, a referee in charge, Thomas Taylor, now to give instructions.
Terence Crawford undefeated in 39 fights.
Terence "Bud" Crawford.
See him lay on that left side.
Punching between punches and a flush.
With another look at it right here. Terence following him out. Fundamentally.
Coming out. All that centering on the relationship of training.
Right. Canelo will have to cut off the ring. He takes a left hand and then comes in and shoved around
The punches.
Free up your hands.
Setting traps for him.
That was the signature punch of that second round.
Round 3. Canelo is what he's trying to stick out there, and also
The right hand. Change the trajectory on it.
Right hook, uppercut, sends him back. Another left hand and a knockdown score.
After a whirlwind of rumors, drama, and even talks of cancellation, the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is officially back on for September in Las Vegas. But did Canelo intentionally price himself out of the fight? Does Crawford really stand a chance moving up 2 weight classes? And what do boxing legends like Tim Bradley think about this blockbuster matchup? Let's break it all down. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Like this video and subscribe. 98% of you watch without subscribing, and it really helps a ton. Done? Awesome. Let's jump in. If you thought Canelo versus Crawford was dead in the water, you weren't alone. And honestly, who could blame you? This potential all-time classic went from dream match to disaster in a matter of days, flipping the entire boxing world upside down. It all started with a major leak. Reports from Turkic Al-Alshik-owned media network revealed that the 2-pound 4-pound kings had agreed in principle to fight in September, headlining a blockbuster event at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The internet exploded. Fans went wild. Crawford, fresh off his dominant showing at 154 pounds, was ready to chase greatness by jumping up to 168. And Canelo? He seemed all in, until he wasn't. Within just 48 hours of the announcement, everything mysteriously collapsed. Suddenly, new headlines reported that negotiations had fallen apart, with no clear reason why. One day it was on, the next it was off. No official statements. No press releases. Just complete radio silence from Canelo's camp, who allegedly stopped responding to a Al-Alshik team altogether. Rumors quickly took over. Some insiders claimed Canelo had purposely gone cold, leaving Saudi investors and fans in suspense. Others said the breakdown wasn't about contracts or weight classes. It was about one thing: money. The big number making waves? Canelo was reportedly demanding a staggering $150 million to face Crawford. That's right, $150 million for a single night under the lights. Even for a superstar like Canelo, that was an unheard of figure. And it raised real questions. Was Canelo truly chasing legacy, or was he strategically pricing himself out to avoid a risky matchup against a smaller, faster technician like Crawford? But just as quickly as the fight seemed dead, it came roaring back to life. Turki Al-Alshik wasn't about to let the biggest fight of 2025 slip away. By late Thursday night, word spread that Canelo had signed a 4-fight mega deal with Riyadh Season, with Crawford headlining the marquee September slot. Crisis averted, or just temporarily delayed. Either way, the super fight is back on, and the boxing world is ready. The fight was back on the table, but the behind-the-scenes drama had already sparked questions that fans and insiders are still whispering about today. Let's be real. When the number first surfaced, jaws dropped across the entire boxing world. $150 million. That's not just fight purse money, that's franchise money. And Canelo's bold demand didn't just shift the landscape, it shattered it. While elite-level fighters typically earn between $30 to $50 million for legacy bouts, Canelo walked into the negotiating room with an ask so massive, it even made the Saudis, yes, the same Saudi sports machine that's been writing blank checks to global stars, blink twice. At first glance, it seemed like a classic Canelo power move. He's long been the king of A-side negotiations, setting terms, setting dates, and setting paydays. By dropping a figure that no modern fighter had ever dared to request, let alone demand, he threw down the ultimate gauntlet. Pay the price for the biggest fight on earth or it doesn't happen. But beneath the headlines and the dollar signs, a different story started bubbling up. Some close to the negotiations whispered that this wasn't just about value, it was about doubt. Sources suggested that from the very beginning, Canelo's camp had hesitations about facing Crawford, not just about the weight differences, but about the optics. Crawford is undefeated, strategic, and notorious for humiliating bigger opponents with surgical precision. Was Canelo trying to quietly walk away without actually saying it? Insiders claimed even the Saudi backers were stunned by the $150 million figure, not because they couldn't afford it, but because they started to wonder if Canelo really wanted the fight at all. In the gossip circles, a theory took hold. The $150 million demand wasn't just a cash grab, it was a strategic stall. A public poker move. If the Saudis walked away, Canelo could say, "Hey, I asked, they passed." And if they agreed? He'd walk away with the biggest payday in boxing history and a shot to cement his legacy. Ultimately, Turk Alalshik wasn't about to lose. The oil-rich mogul greenlit the deal, locking Canelo into a 4-fight mega schedule through 2026, with the Crawford bout as the crown jewel. The money was simply too big to fail. This fight became more than just a bout. It became a global event. And Canelo, whether by design or by gamble, walked away with everything: control, cash, and the headlines. Still, that $150 million figure lingers like a shadow. Was it the price of greatness, or the cost of hesitation? Kell Brook dared to dance with Gennady Golovkin, only to suffer a shattered eye socket and a shortened career. And then there was Mikey Garcia, who moved up in weight to outbox Errol Spence Jr., only to be dominated and exposed. And yet, here's Crawford, daring to defy them all. His fans call it legacy chasing. Critics call it hubris. But everyone agrees on one thing: the danger is very real. Yes, Bud Crawford is slick, smart, and surgical. But he's stepping into a division where one clean punch can end everything. And Canelo? He's not just a bigger man. He's a natural-born bull, a fighter who has lived at this weight class for years, absorbing and dishing out punishment like a man built for war. This isn't just another fight. It's an audacious gamble. And Crawford's betting it all, on his timing, his ring IQ, and the belief that greatness lives just 14 pounds north of where he's ever dared to go. If there's anyone who knows what happens when the wrong strategy meets the wrong opponent, it's Tim Bradley, former world champion, Hall of Famer, and now, one of the sport's most brutally honest analysts. When it comes to Crawford versus Canelo, Bradley isn't sugarcoating it. He's sounding the alarm. Bradley, who's followed Bud's career from the very beginning, is both impressed and concerned, especially about one habit Crawford just can't seem to kick: his love of trading shots. Bud thrives on danger, Bradley told Fight Hype in a recent interview. He switches stances, baits opponents, and slashes them apart in exchanges. It's thrilling to watch. But against a man like Canelo, he's not going to back down. And that's what scares me. Bradley's warning was clear: you don't need to be trading with that bull. I know you're strong, but that dude Alvarez is naturally strong, and he's been at this weight for a very long time. He's acclimated. You're not. It hit like a warning shot across boxing's glamorous facade. Bradley isn't questioning Crawford's heart. He's questioning whether that heart might get him knocked out cold if it beats too fast inside the pocket. He pointed out Crawford's style, dynamic, flexible, but often tempted by bravado, could be his undoing against a methodical powerhouse like Canelo. One miscalculated exchange. One moment of pride. That's all it would take. And Canelo doesn't waste punches. When he connects, bones break. Bradley's bottom line was simple: fight smart, not proud. Crawford must resist the temptation to prove he can take Canelo's heat. Because if he doesn't, if he trades fire with fire, he risks becoming just another name on the list of brilliant boxers broken by weight, power, and timing. The question now lingers like a thundercloud. Will Bud listen, or will history repeat itself in painful, highlight reel fashion? While the Crawford fight is grabbing all the headlines, the real story might be buried even deeper. Canelo Alvarez isn't just fighting, he's building an empire. His freshly signed 4-fight mega deal with Saudi Arabia's Riyadh season isn't just a contract. It's a global tour, a money-printing machine, a strategic chessboard for power, legacy, and control. Here's what we know so far. The first fight under the deal is scheduled for May 2025 in Riyadh, likely against undefeated IBF champion William Skull. A tune-up on paper, but a necessary step to unify the super middleweight belts before taking on Crawford. If Canelo gets past Skull, it's full steam ahead to the crown jewel, the September 2025 showdown with Crawford at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. And Canelo's play doesn't stop there. 2 more fights are already locked in for 2026, both set in Saudi Arabia. Canelo isn't just fighting for titles anymore. He's fighting for something even bigger: a dynasty. Saudi Arabia's glitzy new fight capitals are already locked and loaded. 1 mega event in February, 1 in October. And the list of potential opponents for Canelo? It reads like a future Hall of Fame ballot. Dmitry Bivol, the man who handed Canelo a rare defeat in 2022, is rumored for a blockbuster rematch. Hamza Shiraz, the rising British star, is also in early conversations, especially if he shines during his world title shot on the Bivol undercard. And then there's Chris Eubank Jr., fresh off a 2-fight deal with Turk Al-Alshik and linked to massive British grudge matches with Conor Benn. Eubank is flashy, marketable, and if he wins big in 2025, a serious potential dance partner for Canelo's final Riyadh showdown. Oh, and let's kill that internet fantasy once and for all. Canelo will not be fighting Jake Paul. That circus act? Left outside the kingdom's golden gates. The rumors were fun while they lasted, but the ink is dry on this 4-fight deal. Canelo is staying in serious territory. Sorry YouTube, the grown-ups are back in the ring. This isn't just a career extension. It's a career rewrite. Canelo is securing legacy fights, massive purses, and global attention, all while staying in full control of the narrative. He's not just boxing in 2025 and 2026, he's headlining the future of boxing. This fight? It smells like a setup, a beautiful storyline wrapped around a brutal physical mismatch. And for what? Legacy or a paycheck too massive to walk away from? But the purists? They see something else. They see a chess match in the making, a battle of ring IQ, angles, and adaptability. Crawford is the slicker fighter, better footwork, a deeper toolbox, and a chip on his shoulder the size of Omaha. His fans believe this isn't suicide, it's history in motion. Still, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. Canelo isn't just strong. He's battle-tested. He's taken punches from full-fledged light heavyweights and barely blinked. And Crawford? We've never, not even once, seen him take a clean shot from a 168-pound bull like Canelo. Not even close. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Both things can be true. This is a super fight, and it's also a dangerous gamble. That's why it works. That's why we're watching. Because boxing isn't built on easy answers. It's built on questions that punch you in the gut. And this one asks the biggest question of them all. Will skill overcome size? Or will reality crush the dream? All right, gloves off. Now it's your turn. We want to hear from the real fight fans, the comment section killers, the group chat debaters, the people who eat, sleep, and breathe this sport. Because this fight, it's personal. It's legacy. It's the kind of matchup that keeps you arguing long after the final bell. So tell us, is Crawford chasing greatness or gambling with disaster? Was Canelo ducking or negotiating like a boss? Does Bud even stand a real chance at 168? Or is this just another big money mismatch dressed up for the cameras? And while you're at it, Who's really the face of boxing right now? Drop your picks. Drop your predictions. Drop your hottest takes. Be bold. Be brutal. Be legendary. Let the debate begin. And remember, in a super fight like this, history doesn't just happen. It's written by those brave enough to step into the fire. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to Boxing Edge for all the latest updates, fight breakdowns, and expert analysis. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.